Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of January 16th. I'm Catherine Alecko and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast we talk about parenting issues, but once a week Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. This week, we continued with our Brothers and Sisters series watch, and we checked out a movie from last year that might have some echoes of a movie from 1984. But the one we watched was The Lost City, starring Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum, right?
Uh-huh. And also
Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe, and supporting role for the actress who played the detective in Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, that's where she was
you recognize
from.
her from. Divine Joy Randolph, I think is her name. And
yes, that because I looked at her name and I was like, I do believe I know this person, and that is it.
Yep.
Yes, she's a lot of fun in this movie.
Yes, she is.
So I'll give a quick synopsis.
We always forget to do the synopsis. We just start talking.
Right.
I start
talking. Sandra Bullock plays a writer of romance novels, and as the movie opens, we find that she's become kind of a recluse since she lost her husband about 5 years before. Channing Tatum plays the model who is on the cover of her books, and who fans of her books basically are fans of him.
Yes.
Not so much of the book. So she has a new book coming out. Her publisher, Beth, who's the one that we were just talking about, that's played by the actor from Only Murders in the Building, has set up a whole book tour and, promotional push for this book. And basically it starts out disastrously because Sandra Bullock's character, her name is Loretta, her heart is not in this at all. And then she gets kidnapped by Daniel Radcliffe's character, whose name is Abigail. Just because that's amusing. And he wants her to come to this island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and find this lost treasure, this lost city, right?
Yes,
of the title.
Find the lost city, and then within the lost city, the lost treasure. Well, I guess he's found the lost city, but there's still a burial vault or something that supposedly has this magnificent crown of rubies that he covets because his daddy doesn't love him as much as his brother. Or some such.
Yes. So he has a staff of henchmen and a lot of cool-looking tents.
Yes.
And he is, frantically excavating, but he wants to speed things up by bringing in Sandra Bullock. And there's a running joke that her publisher, dressed her up in this sparkly sequin jumpsuit, and she's wearing it for 48 hours. She's zip tied to a chair. Yes. When is she going to the bathroom? Please, somebody explain.
That is an excellent question.
She's to be wearing the absorbent underwear.
That's right.
Which we will talk about tomorrow
to when you listen to the rest of the week. So the whole thing just looked so uncomfortable, and I thought, oh my gosh, she's going to be stuck in that. But yes, you raise an excellent question. Well, maybe they didn't give her anything to drink or eat, but still,
that was bothering me for quite a while.
Yes. They provided her with a colostomy bag. You just couldn't see it. It was out of camera range.
Daniel Radcliffe's character believes that she can interpret this little fragment of parchment, and so he kidnaps her, and then Channing Tatum's character, whose name is Alan, says that he can find her, he can help in her rescue, and so then the whole movie is these two trying to get away. And Brad Pitt gets involved. And then Beth, the publisher, has to take it upon herself to fly to this place.
And the reason there's an urgency about this whole thing is that, oh, by the way, there's a volcano that's going to blow anytime. So,
yep.
Anyone guessing when in the movie that is going to happen will not have a hard time at all pinpointing it. But, and also there is the extremely fragile, ancient scrap of paper that, oh, by the way, she can stick in her clothing and swim in a river and pull out, and it's still fine. So,
well, it was in a plastic baggie.
If you want yourself some quality paper products, what you want to do is go ancient.
Right.
I buy the plastic bag, protecting it from all of that as much as I buy. It's another thing. We say this often about these movies. Don't think too hard about it.
No.
Let it wash over you.
Just let it wash over you.
I really had a delightful time watching this movie. It was very fun. And I watched it with my husband, who is oftentimes not so impressed by things I make him watch, and he was laughing all the way through. So, you know, in a laughing with the movie, not at the, you know, it was, it's funny. Yeah. It is very funny. And, just adorable in so many ways and completely predictable, but still pleasing in the way it works that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in the little set pieces and the little different conversations and the things, the sight gags and the physical business. It's just very fun. I really enjoyed it. And I usually multitask while I watch movies, but I mostly just watched this one because it was just always surprising me with some cute and funny thing it was doing. Mm-hmm. And also Channing Tatum with his clothes off, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, good thing to put in your sprinkle in your film there at some point. But he was wonderful. I don't think I've really watched many Channing Tatum movies. I certainly know who he is, but I don't think I've ever watched him in anything. And he was so fun in this, able to carry off the handsome dim bulb, but still a good dude and coming through in the crunch generally, although maybe not in the most artful way. I don't know that I buy these two as soulmates, but, you know, have yourself a fling, girl. That'll be fine.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. Just a little eczema. Other than that, he's perfect.
Just keep him out of the water,
that's and right. He'll be fine.
He won't break out with eczema. So that's really all you need to know.
Very fun.
Yes.
And
very much the whole Sandra Bullock is beautiful, but somewhat of a mess, but hilarious.
Yes.
And of course, you know, gets the guy in the end because she's Sandra Bullock.
Yes.
So
that was very, very enjoyable.
Very charming.
Highly recommended. I don't think it made much of an impact when it came out because it's been out for some time now, right?
Yeah, I think it came out in like spring of 2022.
Yeah. I remember vaguely hearing about it.
I definitely remember hearing about it.
Yeah. Well,
so
it was fun.
Delightful.
Check it out.
Yes.
And of course, we have the secondary. Is it a romance with the publisher and the goat guy?
The cargo pilot who has a best friend named Randy who's a goat. He did also say, like, this is part of, you know, the plot of her trying to get to the place where Sandra Bullock's character is. And she ends up on this cargo plane, of course, because we also could have seen that coming.
Right.
But at one point, the guy, the pilot, says, you know, something about come with me, you know, I'll take you there. And then he's like, oh, and then tomorrow I'm going to Hawaii. You can swing by or whatever. He said something about going to quickly swinging by Hawaii. And they're supposed to be in the Atlantic Ocean. Hawaii is a very long distance
Don't
away.
think about it too much, Catherine. Let it wash over you.
I know.
Like a wave or a blanket of lava.
That's right.
It's also very much in the man, you can't get good henchmen these days mold of cinema, where there's just a whole bunch of extraneous dudes who exist to be outsmarted by Alan and Brad Pitt, who was smart, but not quite smart enough, but,
Yes.
Wears that wig with pride.
Yes.
So.
The second wig that figured into the story.
But better glue, I guess.
Yes.
Anyway, so very fun. Very fun movie.
Very
and
fun.
Perfect for an evening where you just want to sit back and watch something that's going to make you laugh. It's going to be a little exciting, a little romantic, but mostly just a lot of fun.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
So now should we move to something that... When the guy who's in rehab it just sits there balefully listening to each and every member of his family come and complain to him.
Yes.
And he feels like he has to listen, I guess, because he's the one in rehab.
And then they all come to show up for him on Family Day, and instead of listening to what he's supposed to be doing, they're squabbling with each other.
Yes.
The Walkers, ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. Even the family of the girl who is yelling at them and saying terrible things is still looking at the Walkers and going, well, we're better than them.
We'll take her.
One day in the future, I look forward to seeing the scene of Gabe's Family Day where he confronts Joe and Sarah with the fact that he never got a plate.
He never got a plate.
You said I was a member of the family. You said you were my mother, and yet your children have plates, and I don't. It's going to come back to haunt you, Sarah. I tell you. Make that plate and make it quick.
He really has a point. And
look, no
one is listening to you.
You didn't do it when you had a chance, and he's already drinking vodka.
I know.
What will happen next?
And just leaving the empty bottle right out there on the counter.
I know. It's like we need to take this boy aside and say, you should have a chat with Justin. I bet Justin has some really good advice to give him. Right. We are talking, of course, about brothers and sisters. Mm-hmm. The episode called Family Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And
where
Justin is in a rehab that looks like a vacation place.
Mm-hmm.
But
is no vacation because
they make you do
gets
yoga.
Spurned by the yoga teacher.
Yeah, he fails in his attempt to pick up the yoga teacher.
That's right.
And then, his family is being his family. Mm-hmm. But I do like that scene where he's supposed to make amends, right? You're supposed to apologize for the thing you've done and take responsibility for them. That's kind of an AA thing, but he's supposed to be, admitting the things he's done and apologizing for them. And his mom will not let him apologize. Is just an endless fountain of burbling excuses. It's like, and the therapist is going, I see now.
Yes. It's all very
Can you say enabler? And then they're all, I liked that he called out Tommy as the only person who has ever held him to account for anything he's done. We hated him for that a few episodes ago, didn't we? But now, thank you.
Now he's getting the praise for it.
Yes. So, what a screwed up bunch they are. But we love them.
We do.
And so does Justin. And let's see, we had the Holly wants to work at Ojai Foods. She wants them to give her an office, and so Nora insists on also working there, which is a bad idea. And everybody knows it's a bad idea, but what can you do? She never stops talking.
They put them in the same office.
In the same office. That was
give the people what they want.
That's right. Kudos to, I think it was Tommy who had that idea. But, yeah, that did not work out well for Nora. Holly is all full of ideas. She wants to open a winery. William, in all their pillow talk, kept talking about how much he wanted a winery. Mm-hmm. And Nora had nothing.
Yeah.
But
Nora had the Slim Cotto.
On the
that
spur
was her
of the
big
moment.
Contribution.
Yeah, that didn't work out so well for her. But Holly,
no,
moving right in.
Yeah.
Horning in on the family business.
Doing something called rolling calls, which
Yes.
I have no idea what that is.
Sounds terrifying.
Yes. Doesn't
if I
sound
saw
like
that in
anything
the job
I'm interested in
description,
doing.
I would be out of here.
Yep. Absolutely.
And of course, Kitty is considering a job offer from Senator McAllister, and because there needs to be tension,
Terry, do you think she'll do that?
You know, it's not like they would want to have Rob Lowe be a recurring member of the cast. Why would you want that? It's not like he has any following or anything, so I'm sure that it won't work out. But yeah, so Kevin picks a fight with her because McAllister voted against gay marriage, and so therefore Kevin can't bear to have Kitty go work for him. But McAllister says, oh, well, I just voted on that because I needed support for something else, which is honestly the way a lot of our government works, confoundingly enough. And also he has a gay brother himself, so...
Surprise!
So Kitty winds up taking the job and making her first job spilling all about the divorce, which he
Sorry, there's a lot of barking happening. I don't know if you can hear that, but
there was a lot of barking happening on Brothers and Sisters also, so it's thematic. Yeah, it was bring your dog to work day.
Bring your dog to work day.
We, like Ojai Foods, are having a bring your dog to work day on this podcast.
Oh, dear.
So, for the moment, anyway, I'm sure just on an episode-by-episode basis, Kitty is working for McAllister, and Rob Lowe will be turning up on a regular basis.
Surprise!
Nothing wrong with that. As Sarah was it Sarah who kept saying how handsome he was? I swear, I think Rob Lowe must get this right. Every script must refer to me as handsome.
Right.
Somewhere along the way.
Needs to be acknowledged in case anyone forgets.
That's right. So, this was like the apologies episode. There was a lot of apologizing. And there was also just some not stellar parenting by Sarah and Joe, I think. Because I think at one point, Sarah was like undermining Joe and then accusing him of undermining her. And both of those things were happening. And just, you know, in the first place, do we think Sarah should have told Joe when the kid asked her not to? I guess you don't listen to the kid in that situation, but it's not like she found him drunk on the couch. He had it with him. It's not clear that he had consumed any. He may have just been trying to be cool.
Yeah. Well, and also, when he says, don't tell my dad, that is the point where you say, I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Right. Exactly.
Not lead him to believe that you won't tell. And then go right
ambush
ahead
him
and tell.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some not great teenage parenting going on there. Have I also mentioned the plate? But
we'll never live that down.
People who are just dropping in for this episode have no idea what I'm talking about.
Like,
see,
why are you
plate? Gabe was asked about the plates, but she didn't make him a plate. She went and used them. Never mind. Yeah. The boy needs a plate is all I'm saying.
Yes.
If Nora knew how badly Gabe needed a plate, she would totally make him a plate.
She would be on it so fast.
She would. Ceramic would barely be dry by the time she had it in his hands.
For sure.
You know, these working moms, they let details fall.
Yes, that was the ending was Justin had like an audio cassette that Nora had somehow mailed him when he was in Iraq.
Afghanistan, I think it was.
Afghanistan, sorry. Wherever he was. far away from
Not
home.
in Southern California.
So we had a little recap of what everyone in the family was doing 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Because that's what Nora talked about.
Yes, that was kind of lovely. And Nora had to shut up in order to listen to herself talk.
Yes, she had to be quiet.
Aww. What a nice family. How glad I am that I'm not part of them. But
That's right.
They're stuck with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we are stuck with them at least for the end, till the end of this season, and then possibly beyond.
Then we'll reevaluate. But we're going to stick with it for another week. And we are going to watch episode 12, which is called Sexual Politics.
Oh my.
I'm pretty sure Rob Lowe is involved somehow.
And have you heard he's handsome?
I have heard that. That's part of what brings me to that conclusion.
Yes.
And then, did you know that there is a reboot of Night Court? It is on Peacock, and it's
I think
John
it's on
Larroquette.
NBC also. I think it's on both of them.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be live on it. I mean, new, an actual broadcast show on NBC as well as being on
NBC.
Peacock.
Yeah. So, John Larroquette is coming back for this, and...
Oh, buddy, I'm
say
so
her
sad
name.
that you have nothing else going on. You have to come back for this. And
obviously, Harry Anderson cannot return.
Right.
He's no longer with us. But the conceit is that his daughter is now occupying his seat on the bench.
yes.
So.
Is it a good idea? We should see. But she's played by Melissa Rauch. I'm not sure how to say her last name, from The Big Bang Theory, who I as I will mention later this week, I have a constant stream of Big Bang Theories on my phone on the Facebook TikTok thing. And so I am very used to hearing her talk like this. So when I see the ads for the Night Court and her voice is still not exactly bass, but more towards normal.
It doesn't sound
It's very weird.
Judgy.
Yeah, no, she definitely could not have the Bernadette voice and be a judge, but still, I don't know. I'm interested to see how she does with this. I wish her well, and I loved the old Night Court. I think that they are going to miss Harry Anderson quite a lot, because he was what made that just the sort of gonzo thing it was. I think that the rest of them were in service of that. But I don't know. I'll give it a shot. My first reaction on seeing the ad was, "Oh no, don't do that, please! Don't ruin an old property that I loved by trying to bring it back." But
one day at a time, it worked pretty well.
Yes, I am encouraged that there's a couple of people from Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist on it who were fun there, so they could be fun here. And John Larroquette. I'm never going to undersell John Larroquette.
Yep.
So we'll see how this goes. It maybe we'll watch it once for the podcast, and then I'll see what I want to go with it from there. But gonna give it a try.
That's right. Yeah.
Good luck to them all. Please don't embarrass us.
That's right. Night Court on NBC/Peacock.
Yeah.
And that's going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Goodbye, everyone.